All right. Hello, hello. Oh my goodness, y'all. We are so excited to share today about the things, our takeaways from leadership. I'm super, super excited to share with you, and a few of the girls that were there are going to share with you too. We went to Dallas this past weekend. We went on Wednesday and stayed all weekend, and it was so fun. We had the best time, and it really was the best leadership I've been to. I've been in the business for 3 years. I've been to a bunch of leaderships, and I feel like this one was just packed full of information, not a lot of fluff. And honestly, I feel like it was calmer. It didn't have all the bells and whistles of, I don't know, like the loud music and the dancing. It wasn't that. It was cut to the chase, which I really appreciated for a leadership. And we got a ton of great information that we're going to share with you. We have Shannon and Priscilla and Becky here on this call with us, and they are all rock stars. And I had a great time spending time with them and just learning from them. They all do things so differently. And it was so cool just to have a little girls' time, drink a few cocktails, and lay on the bed and share what we're doing, what works, what doesn't, what we're doing with our team, how we're growing our team. It was just really, really fun. And so we have a lot to come back to you all with, and we're really excited about that. Also, to put a little plug in, we are having a training on Friday here in Virginia Beach with Kim and Doug Rolance, who are one of the first consultants, a husband-wife team. They're amazing. They have the biggest team in the company, and they are flying all the way in from Utah to chat with us on Friday night. And so they will be here at the ocean front from 7 to 9 o'clock. On Friday, it's kind of, instead of a super Saturday, we're doing a super Friday because a lot of people said that kids had games, and Saturdays were crazy with families, so I thought Friday would be great. I will post the Eventbrite, or you can PM me. I'm Catherine Ripley for the Eventbrite. Everyone is welcome, even if they're not on Team Fancy Pants. They are welcome to attend. It's $10. There's going to be prizes. It's going to be fun, packed full of information, and we are going to recap a little bit as well on what we learned at leadership. So the part that I'm going to share about was Mark. Mark got up and he just chatted. He's so green. He loves all the statistics, all the numbers, and just shared with us a bunch of information on how the company is doing. And I feel like my head is spinning because there's so much information in there. And I think all the girls can attest to that. But Mark was saying that, yes, we have, kind of hit a little plateau in our business, but really it's real now. Like, these are obtainable numbers. This is substantial. He said that the business is in the best financial state that it has been. Did I just freeze? I'm sorry if I did. Ooh. The business is in the best financial state that it is. The numbers are real. They're not inflated. They're able to put in place a lot of procedures and policies that are really going to hold the business and make it substantial for years and years to come. The business is not going bankrupt. They're still paying cash for everything. The business is growing, but at a great rate. And the things that they are putting in place as far as the trainings are amazing. And I think someone's going to talk about that. I think Becky is going to talk about that, the new onboarding process, the trainings that they're going to go through. Something that I love that Mark said was there are 125 million women in the United States, and only 4.8 million are LuLaRoe customers. And that's even inflated because the way they tracked that is 4.8 million unique credit cards are checks, and women pay with different credit cards. So that's even inflated a little bit. And I feel like all of us are in the LuLaRoe world. So a lot of us are like, oh my gosh, it's saturated. We just have to kind of get out of that. We have to get out of that saturation. And just the way he said it just really, really made sense. Something that he also did that was awesome is he broke down, he talked about goals and talked about how important it is for us to have goals, to sit down and actually have goals and to write them out, because people who write out their goals are more than 40% likely to obtain those goals just by writing them out and making them real, putting them somewhere where they see it every day. And so they sent out this really cool, can y'all see that? I hope the glare is not too bad. It's like a model Although it probably is mirrored. Is that mirrored, girls? You can't really see. Anyway, it's the model on the 175 plan. And so to sell 175 pieces, that's 160 pieces sold, and weekly over 4 weeks, and then daily that's 8 pieces for 5 days, and that's a minimum of 1 event a day. And so they kind of did, I don't know if you can see that, that was my goal right there, but just to break things down and kind of work backwards, it makes it not as much of a scary task. And you can see how you know, breaking it up and doing little, I don't like being told that I need to sell 10 items a day. I like more of like a weekly thing. And he talked about how it's important to treat your business like a business. And when you are working your business, be working your business, not wasting time doing, you know, Facebook, and he kind of went into time management, and how it's important not to waste, I just lost my train of thought, to waste time. And what was it? Why did I just lose my train of thought? Oh my goodness. Help me out, Shannon. Forget what I was, and I don't have like that.
You were saying like don't scroll Facebook.
Yeah.
Scroll Facebook, like really focus and make sure that when you have 3 hours to spend on your business, you should be spending 3 hours on your business. You know, really focus your time and energy on that.
Right. And you know what? I can right back up. A question that he asked us that I feel like really hit home for me, and it hit home for a bunch of the girls as well, is would you buy stock? If you're an outsider, would you buy stock in your company? And I loved that question. You know, do you think that you're running a type of company that people would want to support and would want to buy stock in your company? And I feel like for me, that just really hit home. You know, I felt like I feel like I'm really busy, but when you actually write out what your day is, I spend a lot of time wasting time and, you know, surfing Facebook or chatting with friends. And yes, they might be teammates, but it's not all business. And so it's just really important to be present where you are. And they really focused on family too. Like your family does come first, and that's the most important, and then LuLaRoe. And so that was all great takeaways there. He really talked about also not feeding the trolls, that with internet and the way the internet is, you know, it can look very, very negative, and we've had a lot of negative press for sure, but be super excited because there's a lot of awesome press coming out, lots of partnerships and amazing articles and big name magazines that are coming. And Shayna, our PR person, talked about how she gave a few examples of other companies that have gone through kind of like a dip like we have, and it takes 18 months to full circle that, and how they're working on that, and the other companies that she worked with that she was able to kind of pull them out of that. So I just am really excited. I came back renewed and super excited about where LuLaRoe's going. You know, with all the new styles coming, the Elegance collection is amazing. I think it's going to be a hot seller for sure. And they are being very fashion forward. And so those are all really positive things that I got out of the leadership. And so I'm going to pass it on over to Shannon, who is going to chat with us about everyone's favorite person.
Yes, thank you, Catherine. Yeah, I think that my biggest takeaway from leadership really was just the positivity. Like, there was no, you know, obviously we weren't glossing over the negatives that we've all had to deal with and experience, but there was like no negativity. Like everything going forward is just, it's so positive and it's so innovative. But from fashion to all the systems that we're all going to be talking about. So that was really like my biggest takeaway, is that we are absolutely involved in a company who is like on the brink of some innovation. So we heard from Oliver Luckett, who I'm not totally sure of his exact title, but he's like the social media director, and he has built an entire team over the last 8 weeks that is employed by LuLaRoe to take us to the next level from a social perspective. And I just loved, he kind of like made fun of us, but then also patted us on the back at the same time. So he kept talking about how we've all just like built this empire on social media without knowing what we were doing, and like frankly kind of doing it the wrong way. But at the same time, we have built this business that is like completely envious. So many major brands out there are envious of what we've all been able to do and accomplish. And so he was just kind of saying like, you know, a lot of times you guys were like stumbling around in the dark, but you figured it out, and you have had this impeccable and crazy, you know, economics that just, you've built something here. So we truly are changing the world, whether we know how or what we're doing or not. So he basically just said, to Catherine's point, with the audience that we have in the United States alone, and you know, there's hopes and dreams that will go international someday, but just right now with the 125 million women that we can reach, and that we've really only reached less than 4% of those based on those unique credit cards. So he said it absolutely is not a saturation problem, but a network fatigue. And that's really just because we have to get the stuff in front of everybody that's never heard of LuLaRoe, or who has never maybe heard of it but never tried it. And so they are coming out with these amazing curriculums to teach us about social media and social media marketing. And I think that one of the key takeaways is that social media is always changing. So we're all going to have to adapt to the changing times, like all along the way. So we'll have to adapt our business to, you know, some best practices that they're preparing to teach us. But then like just be like flexible enough to experiment and innovate is kind of what he kept saying. So don't be afraid to try something. If it doesn't work, that's cool. Move on and try something else. It's the best part about social media, is that it's such a quick thing that you can say, okay, I tried this, it didn't work this way, so let me try it this way. Or I tried this, it did work, let me do that again and repeat. So a lot of that is probably really uncomfortable for you goals who want it to be completely perfect and know all the details before you roll it out. I've got some of that in me, so I understand that discomfort, but you know, really some of the most successful people within the social media space have learned to really do that, experiment and innovate, experiment, make it better. So you know, the biggest thing that they elaborated on, and I'm not going to go too much into detail because these curriculums are coming and will be much better communicated by the experts that LuLaRoe has hired for us. But really, just in anything that you're doing or communicating online, consistency is key, which is something that I am really going to try, thanks to a few of you that we talked through that on whatever night that was. But so consistency, but then a strong start, whether you're doing a live video, a Facebook post, any of that, a strong start is key. And Julie Cash, our upline, went live on her leaders page this morning and kind of really reiterated a lot of that. So I think she said that there's maybe, I don't know if I have all these stats right, but like 1 billion Facebook users that are that use Facebook on mobile daily. And so it's that news feed that really people are scrolling just like we all do on our phones. So again, that like consistency and that strong messaging right from the start. Another takeaway that I think is so crucial to, again, that consistency and making sure that, sorry, something is flashing in front of me. Okay. It's creating content pillars for our individual groups and pages. They recommended, and again, this will be in that first curriculum that will all be taught, but 3 to 5 of those. And so kind of gearing up and start thinking about those 3 to 5 content pillars. So that's really just like values or things that either you find interesting or you know your customers would kind of find interesting that you can like link the two together. So personally for me, I was thinking of this as I was trying to nap when I got home on Sunday, but my mind was racing. But I'm going to try to go down this road of like the 4 or 5 F's. So my family, obviously, which I'm sure that will be common among a lot of us. I love football. Y'all didn't see my field goal. But I love football, whether it's the Virginia Tech Hokies, the Carolina Panthers, football season in general, tailgating, fires in the fireplace, fall, all of that kind of stuff. So over the next 30 to 60 days, that's definitely going to be one of my content pillars. And so kind of weaving in my business into talking about that. I don't always have to talk about my business when I talk about football, but maybe, I've got some ideas of like creating outfits around football games and things like that, which I've tried in the past, but now it'll just be a little more, again, consistent, that word that I keep using. So I'm going to do family, football, my faith is big, and fashion and fun. So those were like my 5 F's that I'm going to try to weave into the content that I'm posting on both my business page and my group. I know a lot of us shared this too. They gave us a couple of examples of how to think about using your page versus your business page versus your shopping or your VIP group. And they basically said, consider your business page as like the friends of friends. So what you would say or how you would communicate to your friends. Kind of high level, like, hey, how you doing? Sort of information. And then use your VIP groups, your shopping groups as like your best friends, like how you would talk to them on a daily, daily basis or more often. The other kind of example that they gave us is considering like a nightclub when you're walking down the street in like New Orleans. They have their door open, the music is loud, so those passerbys that are walking down the street, seeing that nightclub with the door open, that's like how they're using their business page. They're advertising their business like, hey, come, really fun in here, like come in here and check me out. And then when you go in and you experience that nightclub and what all they have to offer, maybe they'll have music or whatever, that's kind of like the business or the VIP like shopping group experience, the actual experience that you have when you go inside. So those were just kind of like ways to think about how to communicate differently and effectively within those 2 different pages. So that is, so, you can obviously share content within those different types of pages. They definitely suggested like starting small. So to talk to your page, your group, your Instagram, posting things on Pinterest, like you don't have to do all of that right now. So just start with maybe identifying your content pillars and really trying to hone in on how you're going to talk to your shopping group if that's what you're used to within those content pillars, and then kind of then getting to your business page and seeing how you can kind of make all of those work together. And then, if you have a really cool piece of content or a really cool picture, like hop over to Instagram and share that on, at least a daily or every couple of days type of idea. So again, like don't overwhelm yourself with like all this stuff you have to do on social media like right away to be effective. So gosh, there was hot start, again, like just really making sure that content is valuable from the start. And they did mention that they've been watching a lot of like live sales, and some people will get on and they'll wait for people, they'll wait for people to come on, whether you're talking or you're working in the background or whatnot, that they actually kind of encourage against that. So again, like maybe they mentioned like maybe rewarding your shoppers or like the people who are on early, somehow rewarding them. So if they were on, they were live, and they were engaged, they get some type of reward for doing that. I think we call that like the value proposition for the early viewers. And you've kind of like mentioned that throughout your live video, sort of teasing it without ever saying it again, kind of thing. So they have some good ideas that they'll be sharing with us. They also said that there is a list of forbidden words for Facebook, and that you can Google that. I actually meant to do that before this call, but I forgot. But you can actually Google that list, and they really recommended staying away from the words that are kind of on that forbidden list. They touched on algorithms. Again, that's one of those things that they just keep changing, and they're really hard to keep up with. And so putting some of these best practices into place will hopefully help to kind of keep your pages a little algorithm proof or whatever. But they're there, they're not going away, and if you can kind of identify, think of Facebook as a business, because it is, and it's the business that they run, and how they want to engage users. They want users on Facebook all the time. They are competing big time with Snapchat. So I think Oliver mentioned it one time, like their strategy right now is everything that they can possibly do to kill Snapchat. So again, kind of think of it from Facebook's perspective as it relates to that. So they did say video, video, video. Like everything video is super important to Facebook right now. So whether it's going live, creating your own videos, they talked a little bit about that, how you can create your own GIFs, you can create your own videos stringing images together. You can obviously create videos yourself like we're doing right now. So any and everything video, video, video. And then another thing, I mean, I've literally have so many notes about it, and I'm really, truly excited for these curriculums that are coming out. I told my team after Oliver spoke that if you ever see an email come through that you can hear Oliver speak, that you can go through one of these curriculums, like stop everything you're doing, clear your calendar, and listen and engage, because it is so, so valuable to our businesses. They did talk a lot about like other forms of marketing, so email marketing, like getting your database up to date, text messaging marketing. They will be doing a curriculum kind of like a 2.0 on ads and using Ad Manager. They definitely recommended using Ad Manager instead of that boost post option. But he said that there's key things that we can be doing that is going to get us real likes and likes of people that like will actually support our business versus just like these paid likes. He was talking about like these click farms, like these people get employed to go on and like click like on all these different ads. They're just like, and they're just not kill people. So okay, there she is.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
That's okay. No, we wanted to make sure we didn't lose you. So.
Yeah, no, and you're still recording. You were saying click farms, people employing click farms.
Okay. Yep. So, so yeah, I think that was pretty much the gist of it. But just again, like I just said, like I took away from it all the innovation, both in fashion and systems, and all that they're doing to kind of prepare us educationally going forward. So. Does anyone have anything to add?
Shannon, go back and talk about how I know a lot of my girls try to boost posts, and I think, and even it's happened to me with the click farms, but can you tell them, I know that you said to use the Ad Manager instead of the boost post, but did he say anything else about that? And I know that one of the things was this to turn off Instagram when you do it on Facebook, to turn off the little like not to advertise it on Instagram, right?
Yeah. Yep, they did mention that. He basically said that using Ad Manager is going to help you highly target the right set of people that you are trying to reach. So he said, like, for example, if you have your email database, you can actually load that into Facebook. And then there's a way, I haven't played around with this enough, but there's a way that you can basically copy the the like set of your email database. So like the people who have already shopped with you most likely are the people in your database. So you can actually load them in and click, like copy their like set. So things that they follow, whether it's Oprah Winfrey and Teak Shoes and, football, whatever it is. So it'll copy that, and then it'll help you kind of target your ads a little bit better. He also talked about creating like hundreds of ads and running all of those kind of congruently or kind of in a sequence and seeing which ones get the better response. And again, I have a friend here in Charlotte that I used to actually work on social media stuff with, and she spoke at one of our, actually I think it was the Be On Purpose store, but anyway, she was talking about how they've done this for Jimmy Johnson, which is a NASCAR driver, but they've done it over like years. So this isn't something that you're going to be able to accomplish in like 2 weeks or a month's time. Like really just study those places that you're targeting within your ads, and then how you're running your ads, which ones are performing the best, and then kind of go from there. He also talked about watching your ads and how they're getting, they're like gaining likes, and then just like everything, they're going to plateau and then start to fall off. And so he kind of just mentioned once your ad does that, the minute it starts to fall off, turn off the ad. You can like turn off supporting it basically, shut it off and kind of move on to the next one. So he was kind of just saying there's ways to optimize how you're going to spend your money. And he did say that Facebook will show you, like, if you pay $10 towards an ad, anywhere from like 5 cents to 20 cents a like is kind of your sweet spot. So again, that's going to take a lot of tweaking and playing around, and it's like a whole full-time job in itself. Best of luck, everybody. But it's really fascinating. So he did also talk a little bit about like linking your accounts. He said it seems like linking your group, your page to your group is actually hurting some people's groups right now. So to unlink that, if you've done, or maybe it's the opposite, maybe linking your business page to your group. So they recommended like just linking your group URL to a Shop Now button on your business page. So using that Shop Now button, it should not be hurting it. If anything, it's like driving the business to that shopping group. So yeah, it's a lot of information, and there's more to come. Julie also did talk today about this Facebook Blueprint program that you can go through. I haven't looked at it yet, so I don't know if you subscribe or pay a little bit of money to go through it, but she just started it yesterday and said Crystal Foy, who's a leader in the company too, highly recommends this. So it really takes you from like the history of Facebook, like how it all started, why it all started, and I think that is kind of a really good foundation for what we're then going to learn from Oliver in the coming weeks on that first curriculum and then therefore. So I'd be happy to share that blueprint in Fancy Pants so everybody can take a look at that if they're interested.
Awesome. Thanks, Shannon.
Thanks.
And what's great about a lot of this information, they're putting videos together and training together for all of us. And so, we did have to do an overview. Things went into depth. He went into depth a lot more about things, but it's hard. Like, you need like the professional to tell you, it's just so much, and we were all like scribbling notes. So thank you, Shannon. You did a great job of summing that up, and so we'll be on the lookout for Oliver's stuff. And then of course, if you get an email asking to do a Facebook Live training, they're going to be select people. They're going to do small Facebook Live trainings with him. Oh my goodness, you have to do it. Like
100%.
Do it, because it will be amazing. He is awesome. All right. Well, let's move on to Priscilla, my sweet girl that I'm so proud of. I love her, and she's so young, and she is killing it. I was like sucking in information from her. Her and her sister are just rock stars, and they are under Becky, and they are in New Jersey. So Priscilla.
Thank you, Catherine. Love you, girl. Okay, so the takeaway from this leadership, this is my first one ever. I went to convention, and I just felt like being amongst the leaders was just so breathtaking. I felt like I came back in a different headspace. Like I really, really did. And, you know, there's just so much negativity out there, and just being amongst those women to tell you like, no, like this is what's going on. And, you know, just like Deanne and Mark and all the speakers, they really, really put me into a different headspace. And I'm sure it did for all of you, you know. I'm going to be talking about all the things and all the feels for what I took away. As you know, I don't have a team yet, but, you know, I'm working on that. And I definitely, after this leadership, I feel like I'm, you know, I'll have my way up there. I'm going to get my way up there. So something that stuck out to me was the 496 challenge. Kenny talked about this in the very beginning, and I just felt like this is something I want to do because I definitely want to double my sales. The 496 challenge is basically sell an item per the day of the month, if that makes sense. I don't know. But it's like, I don't even know the date today, October 17th. So today you would sell 17 items. On October 30th, you would sell 30 items. So like, it kind of gives you like this momentum, like, okay, first month I have to do 1 and then 2. And then it kind of builds off of it. Like you're like, if I can do 2 yesterday, I can do 3 today. Why not? So I kind of felt like that was my motivation. And he's like, you know, you can really double your sales by doing this. And so that's something I'm going to really strive for the month of November, since it's already the 17th of the month in October, but I'm definitely going to work for that for November and December, you know, to end that year. Another thing they talked about was blowing up social media. I know a lot of us feel like we're like nagging and like bothering our customers. And that is just, you can't think like that. Like, honestly, I felt like, you know, posting 3 to 5 times a day is where it's at, you know, even if you're just saying like the littlest things, you know, like I'm going to the grocery store. What do you guys do first? Like what aisle do you guys go to first? You know, like just the little things to kind of just get your social media going and all that. Another thing was like just having a positive attitude. I feel like a lot of us have this like idea that it's so saturated and I can't do this because there's other consultants in the area. No, like it will work as long as you have this like positive mindset, you know. I feel like that is something that we all can focus on, you know, because we all have those downfalls. Another thing was just, you know, fall in love with your inventory. That's like major. You know, you sit there, I know you guys have been doing this for a while, you know, like I'm just 8 months in, but like 8 months in, I'm kind of like, I'm not going to lie. There's some things I'm like, oh my God, that's still here. And I can only imagine what you guys think, but you have to fall in love with it. You know, there's just so much you can do with these things. And I know Becky will touch on this about what Paige it said, you know, during leadership, but like, there's just so much that you can do with these patterns, and, you know, just don't be scared to get out there and do it. Another thing was, there's going to be a lot of launches going on in the next few months, you know, where Patrick talked about like launching stuff every 30 to 40 days in 2018. You know, that's amazing. That means that we're growing, we're getting there, you know, like there's just so much potential for the company and where we're going and what our goals are. So, you know, be impactful and feel the need of the sizes that work best for you. You know, I know the launch that's coming for the holidays, the Elegant collection, they're going to be pricier. So you got to think about where and why, who's going to focus on, you know, like your sizes that work best for you. You know, each month go and do a chart. They sent us a chart. They gave us a chart here. I have a chart. And this chart, like kind of just, it's all the styles, and every month you can go in and talk about, and, you know, write it for yourself and for your team, you know, about which styles are in right now, because every month it starts to change, you know, like now we're getting into fall, it's getting colder, Sarah's are in, but come spring, you know, Joys are going to be in. So like, it's all about changing and finding your niche right there. I have so much. You know, branding yourself, what makes you unique, you know, that is just so important. I know I have to work on this, you know, I need to go live and start talking about my why to get more of like people understanding why they're shopping with you and that atmosphere and why they want to come back to you to shop. So it's like creating that community. Go live randomly and tell them, you know, fun facts about yourself. If you like, you know, I don't know, I like to go to the movies on Saturday. Okay, they find those things interesting. You know, your customers find those things. They want to know what you're doing on your day-to-day basis. Another thing, you know, LuLaRoe overall, like, you know, they're all about like making you comfortable, bringing confidence out. And, you know, a lot of us think that like, like we're begging people to buy things. And I know for myself, like that's something that I struggle with is like, sometimes I'm like, I'm going live and the same people are buying things, but that's okay. You know, there's always like that new person that's going to come in and, you know, just buy, and like you're selling confidence more than clothing. That's one thing that really, really stuck out to me this leadership was like, you're selling confidence, not clothing. That was like one thing that like is so, so true. Yeah, you're selling clothing, but you're selling this confidence to these women that may have been in a dark spot in their life. I mean, I know I started LuLaRoe. Before I started LuLaRoe, I was in a complete dark spot for myself. So like it really, really, really made me feel like, yes, that's so right. We're selling confidence and not just clothing. Another thing was, what else? Change your schedule around. You know, I know a lot of us go live like Monday, Tuesday, you go live, and then Wednesday you do album sale. Change things around. You know, it doesn't hurt to do that. Keep it exciting. People get excited about new things. You know I go live random days of the week. Like if a box comes on Tuesday, I'll go live on Tuesday. If a box comes Friday, I'll go live on Friday. And then next week it might be totally different. So that's something that I really suggest, and I really took away from that. Another thing is write your goals down. 42% of the goals that are written down is what, you know, you get your goals, you know, taken down and you get them. I just feel like that's important. I'm the type of person that needs to see things on paper, and that's just who I am. So like if I have my goals down, I'm gonna double my sales this month, or I'm gonna sell 15 pieces on the 15th of the month, then write it down. It will help you, I promise. And then another thing was like hand out business cards, 10 business cards a day. That's one thing that I don't do often. And it's like, you know, it might be scary, but hand 10 business cards out. There's so many people, especially in our town here, and I'm sure in your town, even though you may think that it's saturated, there's a lot of people that LuLaRoe has not hit. So it's really important. Just hand them out. And it'll bring like topic of conversation. You know, I sell these clothes. It's amazing. So it's super fun. And then like overall, LuLaRoe is not going anywhere. I mean, the things that they talked about, they're launching so many things, and it's so amazing to see them grow from like the last 8 months. I mean, I feel like they've grown so much in the last 8 months that I've been in the business. So they're constantly thinking of new things to bring out and to keep your customers, you know, excited and, you know, wanting to come back. And I just felt like everyone had just great ideas to share, you know. It's that idea of like watch one, do one, teach one. They all had that kind of, you know, that impact on me. Like, you did that? Okay, I can do that too. And then you can teach it to somebody else. So I felt like that was like a big overtake over the leadership. I thought it was amazing. And yeah, I'm super excited to make like women feel super confident in their skin, you know? I feel like I'm so much more confident. I would have never gone in front of a camera before. And now I'm like, in front of a camera and being myself. I feel like it's just taken me from a really bad space, a really bad time in my life, to like the most amazing time in my life right now. And I'm, you know, there's just so much. So I'm super excited to continue on and, you know, get all the things and all the feels from LuLaRoe.
Oh, thanks, Priscilla. And she was asked to come. We were able to invite a few girls that we saw as leaders, as total rock stars. And I have been watching her and her sister grow, and she's done some trainings for us, and they are all in. They are super positive and just hardworking young women, and she's only 21. I know I tell everyone she's such a baby, but her sister's a little bit older with a child. But will you tell us really quick what your goal is with LuLaRoe? Yeah, my goal, you know, my goal is to eventually have a team. I do really want a team. Like, that is my thing. Like, another thing they said was like lead from behind. And that's what I kind of feel like I'm doing. I'm leading from behind, but I definitely want to be there. I definitely want to have a team. You know, in the last 8 months, like, it's been life-changing. And it brings me to this like emotional state, because like my sister was able to put my niece into preschool in the last 8 months. I mean, that would have never been achievable, I feel like, in any other way without LuLaRoe.
So she was able to put her in full-time school, like preschool. And that was just like, I have like goosebumps just thinking about it. And then like in the next month, I'm going to be moving out of my home and becoming like, I feel like a woman, you know? So it's just like, and I eventually, I do want to grow a team. And that's my ultimate goal, is to grow a team and lead women, because I've always been, I feel like, a leader just in like middle school and high school, like from, being a captain of a field hockey team and, a president of a club. Like, I just feel like that's who I am. And I really want to do that. So I feel like my goals are slowly getting there. And I feel like a big goal is moving out. So in a month I'll be moving out, but it's just been so life changing. And I know there's going to be goals, along the way that I want to achieve, but.
Well, I am so proud of you. You are a rock star. Let's move over to sweet Becky, who has taught Pris well for sure.
Yes.
And so let's hear from you and your takeaway.
I was on mute. Thanks, Catherine. Oh man, these two girls just did amazing presenting. I am all orange, so I am all over the place. They even said at the end of leadership that, orange it, those retailers that are in orange lens tend to take notes, but then later on they can't find their notes. And that is definitely me. So I am asked, Catherine asked for me to present on Paige and Patrick's presentation, where they, of course, talked about styling. Leadership was absolutely amazing. I know we've all said it already, that it was just an amazing experience this time. It was my third leadership. And I've actually been saying the last couple of days that this leadership blew the others out of the water. Not only did it blow the others out of the water, but it was better than the other two combined. We were filled with, sorry, my cat. We were filled with so much information and so many takeaways. So I am going to tell you guys what I learned with Patrick and Paige. First of all, I got to run into Paige when I took a little trip to the mall during convention. I was so excited to see her and get face-to-face contact with her. So Paige was hired to be a stylist for LuLaRoe. So her and Patrick presented on the color wheel, pattern mixing, monochromatic styling, and the new styles. So Patrick and Paige came and talked about the color wheel, and they discussed that there's a color wheel. I feel like I wish I could show a photo of it, but they discussed that you should be pairing up shades of one color, like a monochromatic look. So if you have, say, a classic tee or an Irma or a perfect tee or even a Carly, you should try to, oh, there you go. Thank you. Mine was so blurry. I couldn't get it.
We'll have to
sorry. My phone's going off. So they explained that you should use the color wheel to pair up monochromatic colors. And what I mean by monochromatic colors is if you have a top that's the same color, or if you have the same top and the same Sarah sweater and the same skirt that's the same color but not exactly the same shade, say you have a different shade of red top, a different shade of red sweater, a different shade of red skirt, you should pair those together to make a monochromatic look. It was actually seen on the runways, and they are trying to teach us that, you can put those colors together even though they're not the same shade. It's kind of matchy-matchy, but not matchy, if you understand what I'm saying. So they also described that the color wheel, you can take opposites of the color wheel. So like I said, I don't have a photo of it. I'm so sorry. But if you look at the color wheel, you can take opposites. There you go. So like orange and blue go amazing together. Or like, look at that, like pink and greens look really good together. So hopefully I can maybe post a picture of that color wheel so you guys can get more information on what they discussed as far as the color wheel goes. They were talking about like, try to put the same hues together. You don't want to pair up like, unless it's a monochromatic look, you don't want to pair up pastels and brights. You kind of want to keep within that same hue. I thought that was really interesting because I'm crazy with pattern mixing. So sometimes I'm like, does that go? And I'm like, oh yeah, it goes. And I just put it together. But they were saying that it looks much better when you try to pair the same hues together. Pastels with pastels, brights with brights. There was something that they talked about that I thought was really interesting, that you have to always look at stripes, polka dots, and animal prints as a neutral. You can put that with anything. And it's funny, Catherine actually had like a cheetah. She'll come back this year. But is it a cheetah store? What do you have on? Yes. So she has a cheetah joy on. And she can take that joy and she can put it with any stripe or any polka dot. Like, it's funny, I actually look at her cheetah and I have like a green with white polka dot Gigi, and I'm like, that would actually look really, really good together. Polka dots, animal print, and stripes look amazing together, and you put it with anything because it is a neutral. So I thought that was really cool to think about. The pattern mixing. They talked a lot about pattern mixing. I mean, listen, guys. You know, Patrick came on, and one of the first things he said was, I love black. It says everything without saying anything. It's so true. Black is a staple. Who doesn't love black? But, you know, black is hard to find with LuLaRoe. So, you know, you don't get much black in your boxes. So you got to make those patterns work for you. And, you know, solids are kind of few and far between also. So they talked a lot about pattern mixing. And like I said, I love pattern mixing. I'm actually, you see my LuLaRoe sweatshirt now, but I am pattern mixing today. I have a stripe on, and I have these super cute butterfly leggings. So I took this color, sorry, it's kind of awkward here, but I took the blue and I saw the blue stripe knowing that it matches the blue butterfly on these leggings. So this is kind of safe. Stripes are always safe because, you know, stripes go with pretty much everything. But, you know, Paige really talked about don't be afraid to pattern mix. This is LuLaRoe. You gotta learn pattern mixing. And the best way of doing that is if you have a top that has like a blue floral in it, pair it up with, say, an Aztec print with that same blue. You just really need 1 or 2 shades of the same color to make it all pop and go together. And hopefully I can put some stuff together. Maybe I can post some pictures of what I think goes together, because, you know, sometimes I do get kind of crazy, but yeah, it's fun to pattern mix. It really is fun, and it really shows your personality and it shows your style. And LuLaRoe really is all about style. So we got to really work on that pattern mixing. They talked about Pantone colors. I do have that on my phone. So they talked about Pantone colors. Let me show you a photo of what I took. So these are the fall Pantone colors. And Patrick explained that any of these colors here go together. You can pair up that orange with that green. You can pair up that pink with that bright blue. These colors look so good together. So we should really be focusing in the fall on really working with a lot of these colors that we see here. Even if you don't think the purple and this blue here match, they do. They look amazing together. So we really need to work with our color schemes and really pair it together as best as we can. You shouldn't be afraid to do that either. I touched upon neutrals. I have so many notes. I'm trying to be organized. New styles. Oh man, I was blown away by the new styles. You know, first they presented Elegant, and Elegant was, I mean, gasping. Actually gasping. Me and Priscilla were sitting next to each other, and I was videotaping, and I swear I posted the videos on our team page, and I was like, please, you can hear me and Priscilla like gasping in the background. I don't know how many times me and Priscilla were like, oh my God, I can't even. I mean, Elegant, is exactly what it says. It is elegant. It is so exciting. We have to remember that elegant just isn't for holiday. It's not. Elegant can be worn throughout the year. Don't be afraid of ordering elegant. Women are always looking for special occasion dresses if they're going to a wedding or a bar or bat mitzvah, or even if, there's a date night and you just want to get dressed up. It's always nice to dress up, dress up and show up and go up. So, don't be afraid of getting elegant. It's amazing. Like I said, blown away. Patrick explained that with elegant, there is only 600 different pieces in this collection. So those 600 pieces are going to be super, super limited edition. It's going to be hard to find. They worked so well with everything in elegant. There's different patterns. There's different materials. There was this skirt. It was like this furry looking skirt. I don't even know how to explain what it was.
Amazing.
It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Last year's elegant was amazing too. I don't want to downplay last year's elegant, but man, this year's elegant was just the different textures, and just there was like a gorgeous like sheerish or chiffon like baby blue Jill skirt with like these amazing little metallic hearts. The layering was just amazing, and Patrick discussed that they're working on they worked on a joy where it's going to be a pleated joy, kind of like the Jill, but a pleated joy, and it's going to be a bigger pleat up top, and it's going to go down to a thinner pleat. I just took so many pictures. They put the pictures of elegant up on the models when we walked out of our presentation, and it was just so exciting to see how they paired things together, that pattern mixing, those amazing it was just amazing. It was just amazing. I was so excited. He explained that elegant is going to be pricier than last year. Carly's, as if I remember correctly, I think the Carly's were selling for $65 retail last year for elegant. He said, and he did not explain how much it was going to be, but he did say, be ready, ladies. It is going to be pricier, but the price is going to be absolutely worth it. The craftsmanship, the styling is just going to be amazing. So very, very excited about elegant. We'll see some Irmas. We're going to see Gigi's. We're going to see Jill, Carly. I got to touch upon the Debbie. Oh my goodness, the Debbie. So the Debbie is a long sleeve Julia dress. It is made especially for the Elegant collection. It was absolutely gorgeous. I know most people have probably seen pictures of it where it was a black Julia with a black Debbie, I'm sorry, and it had the roses down the sleeve and down the body. It was just amazing, very slimming, very just really fashion forward, just unbelievable fashion forward. Patrick did not touch upon the fact that, or touch upon whether or not the Debbie would be a long-standing dress. He did not say that at all. He said that it is going to be for elegant, and we'll see going forward. So yes, elegant was just amazing. I could go on and on and on about the elegant.
It was a good 10 notches up from last year, y'all.
Oh,
Easily.
It was, breathtaking. Honestly, breathtaking. It was just gorgeous. Aside from elegant, we have 5 new styles. Everyone is seeing marketing material on just 4 new styles because there was one without marketing material, but there is 5 new styles coming out soon. Let me touch upon the Christy tee. The Christy tee is going to be a new V-neck t-shirt, short sleeve. Patrick said it was going to be fitted like the classic tee, where it was a little bit of a high-low. The V-neck, he explained, it's going to be, sometimes from, not to talk about other companies, but, J. Crew, Gap, sometimes you wash those V-neck tees and the V's kind of sag. Patrick explained that they used a different technology to make sure that V-neck stays crisp and it stays in place. whether or not you wash it 1 time or 5 times or 10 times, 20 times, it's going to stay in place for you. So I'm excited about that structured V-neck there. The Maria, which was my favorite. My video, I was like, that dress. The Maria is a long dress. It's much different than the Anna. Patrick explained that it's structured more like the Carly, where it's going to be a little more, looser through the waist and the hips, and it's going to kind of go down as a straight dress. The sleeves were a cap sleeve, more like the classic tee and like the classic tee neck. I'm just so excited to see that dress. He showed the Maureen. The Maureen was just so stunning, so stunning. It had a scalloped hem and a scalloped sleeve. Patrick explained that the sleeve on the Maureen is a perfect circle, so those ruffles are going to cascade just perfectly down on the sleeve. And it was just so gorgeous. And I'm looking forward to getting that dress. I think it's just going to be such a great addition to our inventory because it doesn't,
it's so different.
Nothing like it. It's different. We have nothing like it. So yes, it's so different. And our customers are going to be loving that dress because, they look at basic and the Julia is amazing. It's a basic, it's a staple. It looks good with things and it looks good under things and over things and the Carly and the Amelia also. But let's be real, we needed something new. We needed something innovative and fashion forward. And that scalloped hem, is just going to be so amazing in our inventory. They brought out the Georgia. The Georgia also is going to be a different fashion forward look. It's going to be a ruffled, tiered hem skirt. I just love it. Reminds me of my wedding dress because my wedding dress had those tiered looks. So that's coming back because I got married like 12 years ago, y'all. But that is coming back. It is gorgeous. And long sleeve. Oh, long sleeve. I'm so excited about a long sleeve dress. It's going to fit a lot like the Lene, but the top is going to be the Lene and the skirt is going to be, like I said, that tiered hem. We only got to see it in black. It's not that we're getting all black Georgias. Don't get too excited. The Georgia is still in styling. Patrick is still working on making it a perfect dress for us. He said that some of the tiers are going to be a little longer, that he thought that the first tier was just a little too short for his liking. So he's going to lower that first tier and the second tier. The third tier is going to stay the same. So it looked like it was grazing the knee. This is going to be just like the Maureen. It's going to be a very, very exciting dress in our inventory. Give it a little oomph. And then the fifth style that has not been touched upon too much, which I just don't understand why, because I am so excited, is the Wendy jacket. I'm not sure if they called it a jacket or a blazer. It was kind of confusing. It was so funny. I videoed the whole thing, you guys. The models came out and, they were wearing, the George. I think they were wearing the George. They were wearing something of the new style, and I was like, "What is Cassie wearing?" I'm sitting next to Priscilla, and Priscilla's like, "It's a Sarah sweater." I'm like, "No, it's not. That is not a Sarah sweater." And the reason I couldn't figure it out is because it was black on black. Someone was wearing like a black dress and had the black Wendy blazer over top of it. The black Wendy is going to be a tuxedo-like jacket. It's gonna have a collar. It is going to have a V in the back. Sorry, I don't know how to explain it, but there is at the hem. How do you say that? Their hem is gonna have
pleat line, and then it also is shorter in the back and goes longer to the front.
Yes, love it. It looks so amazing. I love my Sarah sweaters. Don't get me wrong. I'm wearing a Sarah sweater every day. I have 10 of them in my own personal inventory. This is going to amp it up for us. It's another layering piece. It's a dressier layering piece. the thing I'm even more excited about is Patrick said these are going to be available very, very soon. It's so funny. I was almost expecting him to be like, right now you can order it. Like, I was almost kind of disappointed that he didn't allow us to order them like right then. But he said that is going to be released very soon. So I'm super excited to get a hold of those. We only saw it in black. I'm not sure if it's going to be in different colors. They did not specify what was going to happen there, but look out for those 5 new styles. In addition, Patrick tees, you know those Patrick tees, they are now going to be released in prints. Before, Patrick's were only solids. So now they're going to start being released in prints, which I think is going to be so much fun to see our guys in Patrick tees with those prints. And Patrick mentioned that if you're ordering Patrick tees now, you're going to get some prints possibly. I mean, you never know, it's always a toss up, but they are throwing prints in boxes now. So you might get some if you order some. Oh man.
That they are a little bit shorter too.
Yes.
And that they're not as dramatically high-low.
Yes. So they changed it a little bit, that bottom hem. Yes. Thanks, Shannon. I kind of forgot about that. In addition, Patrick said 2018 is going to be very, very exciting with styling. He is expecting, he's expecting to release a new style every 30 to 40 days in 2018. So this is just the beginning, everybody. We're going to be getting so many new styles. So I'm really excited about the future of styles or businesses. I'm just very, very excited about that. Catherine wanted me to touch on the onboarding process. Catherine, do you want me to go ahead and touch upon that still, or do you want to go over that?
I think that our Zoom is going to cut off just because I put down with the new onboarding process. Just touch on that really quick.
Okay. The new onboarding process is going to be like no other. I have been a retailer about 2 years, and the onboarding process is going to be much different. It's going to be taking a huge overhaul. So Megan Alvarez came out and discussed the whole new onboarding process. And they also touched upon the Threads series, which I will also touch upon a little bit. So the new onboarding process, they explained that when someone comes to you to be interested in onboarding, of course, you're going to talk with them. You're going to tell them about your experiences, and you're going to tell them about, the pros and how amazing that how amazing you've done with your business. Then you're going to send them a link, which is what you do now anyways. But home office is going to be much more involved in the onboarding process going forward. You're going to get a DocuSign. You're going to sign that document, and within days, you're going to get a call from home office. Home office is going to walk you through. I have so many notes on this. Home office is going to walk you through the whole in-queue process. They're going to make sure that you know what you need to start your business fresh and start your business to hit the ground running. They're going to explain to you that you should make a list of 50 names and reach out to those people even before you onboard. Start talking about your business. Start wearing the clothes. If you're not already wearing the clothes, you should be wearing the clothes. So they're going to tell you what you need to do to be successful in the queue. Right now, it's taking about 2 weeks to onboard. That's it. It's so crazy. Such a change that is taking. So it's taking about 2 weeks to onboard at this point. And home office was really going to give you those tools necessary to what you need to be doing in those 2 weeks. And you're going to find that in the Threads series. The Threads series is a new series that LuLaRoe has come up with to help us as those in the queue, as retailers, as sponsors, as trainers, as coaches, as mentors, to be as successful as we possibly can as we grow with the business. Thread series 1 is going to be what you should be doing in the queue. That's going to be all the in that thread series on in Bless. It's going to give you all the tools necessary while you're in the queue to what you should be doing. Once you onboard, you're going to go through series 2, and that's a retailer. It's going to give you a lot of training necessary to make you succeed as a retailer. You're going to watch videos, and that's going to help you grow as a retailer. And then once you start building a team, you're going to have Thread Series 3, and that's going to put you to the sponsor level, and it's going to teach you how to be the best sponsor you can be, and so on and so forth. Trainer level, coaches level, mentor level. It's going to give us the training necessary to teach our teams how to be successful and how to teach us how to be successful leaders moving forward in the business.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Becky. That was great. Well, thank you girls so much. I hope that you all got a little piece of leadership, and then Katie couldn't pop on this call, and so she is going to share on Fancy Pants and talk about some of her takeaways too. So if you have any questions, just let us know, and a reminder to come to training on Friday night. Send me a PM if you need information on that. And I love you all so much. It was so fun to get to know you now. Like, y'all are like really friends. I feel like we see each other on the computer and like talk on Facebook or Instagram or whatnot, but now I actually know y'all. And so LuLaRoe is so much more than clothes. And so I just encourage everyone to work their business, to stay focused on what they have to offer, what makes you unique, and create that community, and just do your thing, and don't feed the trolls, and don't listen to the negativity. I love you all. And thank you so much, girls, for popping on here and taking the time to do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.